Hello, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw News Brief. We're going to try to keep this one brief. It's Friday night, Larson.
Yeah, well, we're shooting this Saturday morning when this is going up.
What's in the news?
Oh, man.
Real.
This is real news right here. So it was announced in advance that one Finn Balor, who recently
shocked the world
on this week's edition of NXT.
Turning on Johnny Gargano, becoming bad guy once again.
Oh, man.
Kicking him with a Pele kick in the head. Shotgun kick. Oh, it was beautiful.
It was amazing. So it was announced in advance that he was going to be a guest on WWE Backstage tonight following SmackDown. Here's what happened because it was pretty great. But before we get to that, TMZ, they break wrestling news sometimes.
Yeah.
They met up with Finn at, I guess, LAX. Yeah, LAX in advance of Backstage tonight.
I'm assuming this kind of thing is sort of put together in advance.
Oh, I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And so this is from TMZ's article on that. I guess he was asked at airport if his actions on Wednesday officially made him a bad guy, and he says, "Am I a bad guy, or do I just do bad things sometimes?" I don't know.
You tell me.
You tell me. His lines are blurred in this day and age. We don't know what's going on. And then, yeah, I know. And so he showed up on Backstage. I believe he was the first guest. I believe that's what Renee Young was saying. And man,
where
has this Finn Balor been the last 5 years?
You know, even it's kind of shocking to me that he came from being so dynamic in New Japan, and when he was brought into NXT, they just sort of made him cool guy.
Like, I could see Triple H looking at Prince Devitt. I mean, and seeing the immense charisma. He's a handsome dude. He just oozes cool, and thinking, this guy is like a huge money-making babyface. I could see that.
I could see him seeing the work of Prince Devitt, and then when he meets him in person, because what I think is Finn Balor is probably just a really cool guy in person.
Yeah.
He probably says, you know what? I don't need that. I need this.
Yeah.
This is more real than that.
The issue is, though, sometimes it's hard to project the real you in the same fashion you can a character that's a construct.
Well, he was still supremely over. People still, they got it.
Oh, I know.
They just got it.
Because it just seems
more
like
interesting.
Yeah, it's endless. It's infinitely more interesting. But like he oozed cool still. There just never really was a whole lot to his character.
Yeah. So Pro Wrestling Sheet has a breakdown here. So we're going to be reading from some of that. But he basically said, they said, you know, why are you going back to NXT? And he says, a lot of people have asked me that. And he said, Raw and SmackDown feel like the movies.
They're like Hollywood.
Where you can hide behind special effects. He said NXT is more like Broadway.
Nowhere to hide.
There's nowhere to hide.
He says, I want to go back there and test myself.
Yeah. He said it felt really good to return to NXT, but it felt even better seeing Johnny Gargano on the ground and what did he say? Leaving all the people speechless.
Yeah, that was great.
And then he said he hasn't been true to I haven't been true to myself in a long time. And then he said, because Booker T was like, is this Finn Balor?
A return to the old Finn Balor.
And he said, no, I feel like this is the real Finn Balor. And then he punctuated the interview by saying,
let's just say the Prince is back.
Oh, he called himself the Prince. Because he referenced directly, he asked Booker, he says, let me ask you something. You were a fan of mine from before I was in WWE,
he said
right?
My old work from before WWE. And Booker T goes, yeah, I used to show my students of this guy who I thought was be the future of the business.
Yeah.
Even before that, his NXT title reign brought up, and Booker's like, you're the longest NXT champion. And Finn interrupts and goes, how many days?
Yeah.
And Renee Young goes, 292. And he goes, 292, yeah. Anyways, Booker continued. That's great.
Yeah.
Like he had just enough attitude. There's enough simmering underneath the you know, like this facade of being professional.
Yeah.
But he's kind of leaning back in his chair like this.
Yeah.
There's just so much more going on. There's so much more interesting. Like I like Finn Balor. He legit seems like the coolest dude. And I understand you look at him, you think, oh man, this guy's be a huge baby face. He's so much more interesting as a heel.
Oh yeah, for
so
sure.
much more interesting.
Yeah, just Google any or YouTube search any Prince Devitt promos from back then, and if we get even a little bit of that, I'll be very excited. I'll be very
just
happy.
what we saw him backstage. I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
Because there just seems like there's just a lot percolating under the surface.
But I want to see it burst through a little bit.
Exactly.
I want to see it frenetic. You know, exactly.
I'm not going to do that, but something new like
something
that.
Cool though. I mean, hey, you did a little bit of that. So, yeah, putting it up to the head is a little different, though.
I think is he going to start referring to himself as Prince Balor?
I hope so.
Please, yes. Please, yes.
Larson, is that just another idea they stole from us from
Apparently
WeBook
so.
Raw?
Seems to be the case.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Anyways,
and then one other little bit of news. Let me pull up this info real quick because I think it's funny. CM Punk, he's been in the news all over the place. He was asked, he was on a podcast. Let me pull up the podcast.
Boy, he is doing the rounds these days.
Well, he's got a movie to promote, man.
He is making oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He's got that movie.
It's out on, I think it's out on VOD right now.
Yeah. So Fightful has this here.
He was on Pardon My Take podcast.
Okay.
And he was asked how much money it would take.
How
for
big
him
is
to
that
sign.
bag that he was talking about?
And this is what he had to say, quote, I don't think they have that much money. Maybe I can be paid in stocks. I think the conversation would have to start at somewhere like 20 to 25 million. And he says, I'm not doing a single Saudi Arabia show.
So he's negotiating in public.
I know.
Right now on podcasts.
I know.
Oh, man. Can we get him on this podcast to find out what his rider is?
Sure, that'd be awesome.
Can he
I'd be on board.
Talk about what your rider is. What do you want to be in your private dressing room when you arrive at the arena?
Mm-hmm.
What color M&Ms are not welcome in your bowl?
There you go. I know.
What
exactly.
towns will you not go to beyond Riyadh?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anything else of note in that podcast?
I guess he was asked about having to answer questions about a return to wrestling during doing his media rounds for his movie. This is what he said. This is kind of interesting. Me addressing it adds fuel to the fire. It's like rumors. They're always going to be there and take on a life of their own. Me coming out and addressing it puts a spotlight on it.
Yeah.
That's
He's
interesting.
negotiating in public.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what he's doing.
I know WWE has a ton of money. I don't know if they're going to give anybody $25 million. For
No, they're
return.
definitely not going to give him.
Is this a situation where he says, yeah, I'll come back. And I was like, all right, what's your price? $25 million. Knowing full well that no one would ever agree to that sum of money.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they do.
I know. Sometimes they do.
Sometimes
they do.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyways, we have a question on Matt Chat tomorrow, Sunday, about pretty much how much it would take for CM Punk to come back. Neither of us get anywhere close to $25 million.
No, we don't.
No.
Not even
the ballpark.
But maybe when they eventually land on a number, maybe because that's going to happen. He's already negotiating, man. Just in public. Anyways, that's it for News Brief. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.